Hello again, welcome back to the Benson Archive. I'm Chris Benson, and in this podcast series I'll be going back through my archive of recordings to share with you various interviews I've done over the years. The plan is to release a new podcast episode once a month, so make sure you follow, like or subscribe and keep in touch with the latest episodes. Episode 1 last month went back to 2007 to revisit my first interview with comedian Jim Bowen. As mentioned in the first episode, back in 2007, I wanted to get involved in hospital radio, and I was trying to get involved with Bradford-based hospital radio station Radio Royal. Whilst waiting for the all clear from the chairman at Radio Royal, I tried to arrange some interviews with guests, and, after Jim Bowen, I managed to arrange my first face-to-face interview with comedy legends Cannon and Ball. The interview was recorded on June the 13th, 2007 using a portable voice recorder. 17 years later, I have restored the sound for this interview as best as I can, but apologies for any sound issues whilst enjoying this podcast. I was lucky enough to see Cannon and Ball perform live at Batley Frontier that night. In fact, I remember recording bits of the sound of that gig using my voice recorder, but I remember the sound was muffled and certainly wasn't good enough to play on the radio, so it's long been deleted. I only went to Batley Frontier that one time. The Frontier remained open until 2016, but is now a gym. I live not far away from the Frontier and still drive past from time to time. It's not right to imagine the Frontier as a gym, is it? All those acts that played there, Louis Armstrong, Roy Orbison, Shirley Bassey.
Okay, now on Radio Royal, we're joined by two legendary comedians. Please give a warm welcome to Cannon and Ball. Good evening.
Good evening, how are you? How are you doing?
It's fantastic to be at the Batley Frontier, such a legendary venue. So what are your memories from the Batley Frontier?
Well, we've got some great memories from here. We in the Batley days when it was what we termed as a proper nightclub, we came here as a support act to Frankie Vaughan, and we thought we'd made it. We thought that was it. We thought we were stars then. And then we came back and topped the bill in our own right when we'd been on television. And so Batley, it's always had a special place in our hearts. We knew the other lad that owned it, a lad called Derek Smith. He went through all sorts of highs and lows with the nightclub scene changing and everything else. So yeah, it's got great memories for us, but only good memories.
Only good memories.
Yeah,
that's great. And I remember seeing a clip a few years ago on Granada Plus. You performed at the Wheel Tappers and Shunts as well, didn't you? I remember seeing that like in reruns ages ago. But I mean, your main break was on Bruce Forsyth's Big Night, wasn't it? When you did, was it sketches that you did throughout the 3-hour show?
Seven sketches we did, didn't we? And they didn't get shown because the first week they put the show on. Well, I don't think we were included in the first showing anyway. But the second week, I think people started to complain that Bruce Forsyth was a very, very big star in them days, huge, and they wanted to see more of Bruce Forsyth. So certain pieces had to keep being dropped out week after week. And of course, because we were the newcomers, it was me and Bob that kept having to be dropped out week after week. So we kept, we did eventually. I think, did the show die? No, it didn't get shown, did it, at all? And Michael Grade, who is now head of ITV again now, because that's the man that brought us to TV, he saw a sketch that we'd done on the Bruce Forsyth Big Night Out, and he loved it, and he turned around to his execs and he said, give them two lads their own show. And that's how it happened.
By the 1990s, the duo were seeking a change in direction and appeared in their own sitcom, Cannon and Ball's Playhouse, also a spin-off series, Plaza Patrol, and their game show, Cannon and Ball's Casino. Plaza Patrol saw them play security guards in a shopping mall. On December the 23rd, 2009, Bobby appeared in the Christmas special of BBC One sitcom Not Going Out. Starting with guest appearances, Bobby would go on to join the main cast, appearing in 22 episodes. From 2011 to 2017, Bobby Ball played Barry in the Sky One sitcom series Mount Pleasant. The following year, he took part in BBC One's Pointless Celebrities alongside Tommy Cannon. His second appearance on Pointless Celebrities was for a Children in Need special in November 2013 with Lee Mack.
So who would you say, have you got any favourite comedians? It's such a hard question when you ask anybody, Bobby, but who would you say are your most popular comedians, long gone, and any recent ones that you admire?
I like Peter Kay, I like Lee Evans today, and Al Murray. I like them three.
Yeah.
Of the yesteryear, I like Max Wall. Thought he was excellent, Max Wall. Tommy Cooper, of course, and Eric and Ernie, so, yeah.
And they always remain timeless,
sure.
isn't it? So tell us more about your year. You've got a busy year indeed, and a fantastic year ahead by the looks of it.
We do, like, it's very busy. We're all over the country. I don't think the promoter's got a map. Because we're all over the place.
Yeah, they are strange how they book these things, but you can understand how it is, because obviously if you're up in Scotland and you go to Scotland and then you come all the way back down here and then the following day you go back to Scotland again, and you wonder why they haven't put the two dates together.
Yeah.
And the problem is that in between that there's something else on at the theatre. So of course you can't stop in Scotland, so what they do is they book you another night, maybe down here somewhere, and then they send you back to Scotland the following day to do Scotland again, So yeah, it's one of those tricky things. I don't think, I think if you look at most tour dates, you'll find that certainly in this country they are up and down, backwards, forwards, they're all over the place, you just can't book it where it all runs and falls into. You'd like to start at Scotland and work your way down to the south of England, but it doesn't work that way.
but you're in a minority, I guess, now, which is a shame, because there's only a few people that I can think of that get a large family audience.
Yeah, there's very few now.
I mean, it's nice to see, probably for yourselves, that you've got a new generation of fans watching because of the DVD, etc. I mean, it's a wide audience you've got, isn't it?
I think you get family audiences because you're clean. You can't. I think the tendency in this country to be a little bit hypocritical, because we say, oh, well, I want to go and watch a blue comedian. Well, would you take your children? Oh, no, I wouldn't take my children.
Yeah.
But at least with us, you can, all family comes, So. And we've always strove for that, me and Tom. We always said we'll always be clean, because we wouldn't work unless we could bring our children. So
we've always been cheeky, but not
Blue.
Blue never suited us. We used, because all the young comics of today, and I'm not knocking any of them, but, well, Ariel, I mean, I don't understand him, but there you go. But if you think of comedy when we started, there were blue comics that did stag nights. So there's nothing new about the words that they use, but they were comics, and it was men only. Now there's women in the audience. That's the big difference.
Yeah.
And they still seem to be able to get away by using the F word. But in our day, it were men only in the audience. And even then, me and Bob couldn't do it. We couldn't go on and do what we suited. It just didn't suit the act. So we said, right, well, forget it. Let's not do it.
Yeah. And more recently, you've worked with Peter Kay and the Comic Relief video. Did they film everyone together, or was it done in separate?
Done separate.
Done separately.
It looked like they were together, but it wasn't. They were all done separately. It was great. We really enjoyed that. I mean, Peter Kay's a big fan of mine and Tom, so it was nice doing, He's a good man.
Nice lad. Nice lad, that.
And I can't believe it already, but it's 2 years since I'm a Celebrity came out of here.
Well, it's gone on it, 2 years.
Well, it's 2 years.
I know, tell me about it. Frightening, really, when you think about it.
I mean, it was obviously a milestone for both of you, weren't it? I mean, what do you take out of it most now, looking back from that time?
It was a real adventure. There's only 50 people ever done it, and we had 250. So it was a real adventure. It was fantastic. I mean, you can't really explain, but you're actually in a jungle, properly in a jungle, and you live there, and you survived in the jungle if you like, So it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was an adventure. It was an experience. Sometimes I think we both sat there and had our quiet moments and thought, I can't believe we're on the other side of the world, sat in a rainforest.
Yeah.
And that's what we actually were, in a wonderful, beautiful rainforest. Although it wasn't
although we didn't go to a hotel every night, it was quite an experience to be in that rainforest.
Because it's not just the highlights as well, because people could have watched you live through the night, so it's not like you didn't have time to switch off or anything like that. It
was 24/7. They had microphones on all the time. You were never able to have a quiet conversation. They'd pick the conversation up to a microphone. But after the first night, you're not really conscious of it. Really. No, it just disappears, doesn't it? Because for some reason, I don't know why it is, but the sleeping bags, they're actually canvas. They're not comfortable. They're actually proper hard canvas. But the minute you get in them sleeping bags, you're asleep. And the funny thing is, you see, the trouble is as well, you don't know what time you're going to bed because you're not allowed to watch. And anybody who comes in, i.e. crew members, they used to come in at night time to change your battery packs for the following day. And they'd come in, they didn't speak to you. And, we used to think, when he comes in, we'll see what time it is. We'll have a look at his watch. And all the watches are, if they had a watch on, was gaffer taped up. So when we were lucky because we had an Australian girl in with us. So we had an idea of what time, because she said, it goes dusk at such a time, and it comes light at such a time. But we probably were going to bed at like 6 o'clock at night and not realising, and we were waking up before it was light, weren't we? So because we didn't know the times,
God.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you both of you for your time this evening. And I look forward to enjoying the show. And thank you very much for your time on Radio Royal.
Thank you.
In 2013, Bobby Ball played the role of Duckers in the ITV sitcom pilot The Security Men, starring alongside the likes of Brendan O'Carroll, famous for Mrs. Brown's Boys, and Paddy McGuinness. The episode, written by Carolina Hearn and Jeff Pope, was later not picked up for a full series. Cannon and Ball appeared in ITV's Last Laugh in Vegas in 2018, and Cannon and Ball have also previously starred in the Safe Style UK TV adverts. You might remember those. In November 2019, Bobby Ball played the regular character Ray, stepdad to Joe Wilkinson's character Simon, in the first series of UK TV sitcom The Cockfields. Bobby Ball passed away on October the 28th, 2020, aged 76. Bobby's final appearance on Not Going Out aired on February the 5th, 2021, with the final episode of Series 11. The Bobby Ball Foundation has been set up since Bobby's death. The first events organised by the charity were a star-studded variety show and ball on the 12th and 13th of November 2021 at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. I went to the variety show at Winter Gardens and it was absolutely brilliant. Guests included Russell Watson, Sheridan Smith, Jason Manford and Sherry Hewson. The most emotional part was when Tommy Cannon was on the stage on his own with an empty chair for company, with Bobby's infamous braces on. On August the 28th, 2022, a 7-foot-tall bronze statue was unveiled of Bobby Ball at Lowther Gardens in Lytham. I'm still yet to see it. Tommy Cannon was cast in ITV soap opera Emmerdale as pensioner Derek in 2019. He appeared in several episodes and featured in a story that had serious consequences for regular characters. The character was killed off at the conclusion of Tommy's guest stint, and Tommy is still touring today across the UK with comedian Matt Grindley. As with the previous episode and Jim Bowen's jingles, Cannon and Ball recorded some personalised links for me to use on Radio Royal. As you'll discover in future episodes, I didn't end up as a presenter on Radio Royal, so these jingles weren't used. Sorry, Bobby. Sorry, Tommy. But I do share them here for you now. They are absolutely brilliant. Rock on, Tommy.
Rock on, Tommy. We're Cannon and Ball, and you're listening to Chris Benson on Radio Royal. Hi, we're Cannon and Ball. We're wishing everyone a speedy recovery and best wishes. And keep listening to Radio Royal. See you soon.
I hope you've enjoyed this second episode of the Benson Interviews. Coming up next month, I'll raid the archives once again, and we'll have not one, but 2 interviews with a band who like their chippy teas. There's a clue for you. Until then, bye for now.